then you're ready to open up the laser engraver program. To do that, I am going to open up the program on the computer that's called Laser Gerbil, Laser G-R-B-L. Click on that.
When you click on that, you're gonna see the goofy looking dinosaur. If it asks you to upload a new version, for now just cancel it. I can do that later. Okay, so once you've done that, what I want you to do is make the laser engraver program full screen.
And you are going to need to load the image that you found into this program. So to do that, you're gonna click on File, you're gonna go Open File. Now you can see we've got a bunch of files here. I'm gonna click on the desktop. Once I click on the desktop, I should be able to find the file that I saved. So in this case, I've got the birdie pattern. I'm gonna click on that, and then I'm gonna click Open. When you do that, this window is gonna pop open, and you will then see the image. Now, depending on the image that you downloaded, hopefully it's a black and white image, you'll notice you can change the way how it looks, right, by adjusting the brightness. That's not gonna work, right? That's not gonna work. And also by adjusting the contrast. Okay, you can see right there, I've got more contrast, less contrast. So what you wanna do first is just adjust the brightness and the contrast until it looks reasonable to you.
I'm actually gonna open this window bigger so I can see it as well. So to me, this looks about right. Okay, after you've done that, you can adjust the black and white settings as well, the white clip. Typically, we don't have to do much in terms of that.
Then you're gonna look at where it says Conversion Tool. I want you to use line-to-line tracing, so click on line-to-line tracing. And then the direction should be on horizontal, and the quality. Okay, so quality. If you want something to go really fast and you don't really care about how it looks, you could probably bump your quality down to 2 or 3. I like to do things in our shop. For your projects, I like to probably be around 6 or so. So you want to be about 6 lines per millimeter. Now here's where things get interesting. If you look at this picture and you look at the object that I want to engrave the picture on, you're going to notice these are 2 different shapes. That is basically a square, and this is a rectangle. You're also going to notice on this picture right here, you've got some words right here, and you've got numbers you don't necessarily want to be in your project. So here's what you want to do. You're going to try to cut out this image so that it matches the shape that you want to engrave it on. So if we're talking about a skateboard, you'd want to create an image that's 6 inches by 6 inches. Okay, so you're basically making a square, right? In this case, you want to create a rectangle. So there are different ways to do this. This, I think, is the easiest way to do it. So you're going to go to the crop tool, which is this tool right in the image, right there, okay? And you are going to click on that right there. And then what you're going to do is put your cursor right here, your pointer, and what you want to be the left-hand corner of your image. You're going to click right there, and then you're going to pull. Once you click, you're going to pull down. Now, what you want to do is create a rectangle that comes as close as possible to this rectangle. Now, are you going to make a rectangle that's perfect? Probably not. So we're not going to worry too much about that. We're just going to make one that looks as close as possible to the rectangle, in this case, that I'm trying to create. So I'm going to click it, kind of like that, and then I'm going to let go. Okay, you'll notice when you do that, then you have a rectangle. Should be about the same proportions as this. It might be a little off. Again, that's okay. Then you're going to click on where it says Next, right there. And this is where things get interesting. So if you look at this, you can see we've got a bunch of windows right here. So first of all, it says speed. You want your engraving speed to be around 5,000 millimeters a minute. So notice how I have it set at 5,000. I might slow it down a little bit. I might go to 4,000, but I think 5,000 is probably going to be fine. You want the laser mode, this is really important, on dynamic power. You do not want it set to constant power. Okay? Make sure it's set on dynamic power. and then it asks for the S min and the S max. Okay, I usually set it, you can set your minimum, if you want to, you can set it all the way at 0, and you can set your max. I usually go to about 600 or so. That's appropriate for this class. So 0 to 600, it's 60% of the max. Okay, and then here's where things get interesting. You've got your size. So you want to create something that's 70 millimeters tall by 210 long, or 210 by 70. So this is what I'm gonna do. Watch how I do this. I'm gonna go over to the width and I'm gonna set it at 210. Okay, when I do that, when I set it at 210, you'll notice the height is set at 77. Now, I can't set the height at 70. If I do that, it's going to automatically change the width. So watch, when I change this to 70, that gets changed to 190. I don't know if you can see that, but that gets changed to 190. We don't want that because it needs to be at least 210. So when you're making a pattern like this, what I always tell students is that you want to make it a little bit bigger than the image you're going to engrave on. So if you want to engrave the pattern on here, it's okay if it engraves outside the pattern a little bit. You just don't want to make it too small. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bump this up. 210 is the size. I'm actually going to bump it up by, maybe like 10 more millimeters. So I'm going to set it at 220. Just because it's covering the whole space, doesn't matter if it goes over the edges. Now, if I were doing something like a skateboard and I wanted to be precisely in the middle, I'd have to be more accurate. But I'm going to go 220, and as far as the height goes, that's at 80. See, so I know that I'm making it a little bit bigger. So that's good. So once I've done that and I have all these other settings ready to go, I'm going to hit create. Okay, when you do that, you're going to end up with an image that looks like this. Yes, I know it's red. It's not going to make a red engraving. It'll make a dark black engraving or dark engraving like this on your wood. It just shows up in red on our program. Now let's look at the actual laser engraver, and I'm going to show you guys how to set it up.